Several years in international development overseas, and coming back to Kentucky or coming to Kentucky and looking at how we market our future to the world for the global economy, we really look at regionalism, how we're connected as a region. In other words, Louisville, Lexington, Frankfurt, Shelbyville all need to be connected as a region. And what better way to do that than through rail? In other words, in automobiles, which we've had for the last 30, 50 years, individual decisions are being made and you go wherever you want to go. It kind of disintegrates region a little bit. But commuter rail, light rail, those types of transportation amenities really create regions. So this is why we're presenting and moving forward with the Thoroughbred Rail link. And we're getting very good support. We know we can do this. The numbers are there. The feasibility is there. So we know this is a doable thing. We're looking at an existing rail line that happened to be a short line, part of CSX, that was recently, or several years ago, taken over by R.J. Corbin, which is a short line operator. And we will work with them once we get this vetted through the political leadership of the region. Now what we're going to do, why this is such a benefit, is rail will be the future not just for moving people, but it's also going to be the future for moving goods and services throughout this region, and also the country. We've recently read all about high-speed rail, and some people are, like Florida, is moving it to other states like Illinois because they said, I don't see a future in high-speed rail. But they're missing the point. It's high-speed transportation. There's no reason we can't go to high-speed freight. So in other words, the line that goes to Chicago from Cincinnati, UPS can use that for high-speed freight, which competes with the airlines. So the only way that rail will ever compete with the airlines is to go to high-speed rail. Now, the program we're promoting here is a commuter rail system. It's not high-speed rail. And it's not a light rail system either. We're moving on a freight rail system, and you're not allowed to actually move light rail systems on a heavy rail freight system. But you can move commuter rail. That's what we do in Chicago. That's what we do in Los Angeles and other cities. So we're going to do the same thing. We're mimicking other larger metropolitan areas using heavy rail systems to put a commuter rail on to that program. There's a lot of details, and I won't go into it. I'll probably more likely answer questions that you have. Where we are in the project, we're approaching the feasibility study, which will take 4 months. I know as a prior consultant that I could take 12 months to do it, but we don't want to do that. We want to do 4 months. We also know that because the administration is very friendly to rail, that we'll get the funding for it, and we will have the first commuter rail program up and running before the other states and other communities that are also looking for the money will have theirs put together. So again, quick access to this commuter rail, hopefully by the end of November of 2012, which is quickly approaching. We may move into 2013, but you have to have a goal, and our goal is November of 2012. It will be 11 stations. It will be 101 miles long. It will actually go from Winchester through Lexington, through Midway, Frankfurt, Shelbyville, St. Matthews Mall, into Louisville, University of Louisville, and also onto the airport. So a fairly good linkage of Bluegrass region as well. Capacity, we're going to have 4 passenger trains, bi-level. The reason we're going with bi-level is they load and unload quicker, so you have less time at each station. The bi-level trains will have 4 of them per train, 4 passenger cars, 150 per car, so 600 people we can move on this system. There'll be a modern system. Each seat will have laptop capabilities, Wi-Fi access. You'll actually be able to text while you're commuting on this rail system. You'll actually be able to have bourbon too. So all the things you can't do while you're driving down I-64, you can do on the Thoroughbred Rail link. So a very comfortable thing. But I talk so much in numbers, and I've got a 10-page document that has full of numbers. what it's going to cost, how we're going to pay for it, what are the time frame to build it, how long it will take you to get to Louisville. I've got a lot of numbers in here, but the overriding thing that I talk about is that this will build community. And that is much important. That is more important than all the numbers. Because when all 600 people drive their vehicles from Louisville to Lexington or vice versa, there is no community being built during that time. But when you move 600 people on a rail system, you're going to bump into people you know or people you don't know. You're going to have conversations. You're going to start doing business. You're going to have a glass of bourbon together, or you're going to have a cup of coffee in the morning together. So it's going to build community. And what better way to do that than the Thoroughbred Rail link?
By the way, this is interactive. It's not a presentation, so make sure and...
Okay, so I love this idea, right, from a carbon footprint standpoint and all the other reasons, but Kentucky has a dispersed small population, right? Like Amtrak running up and down the East Coast is still not paying for itself. So I'm wondering, like, how we can justify it economically, how we can actually make it work.